Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday, January 11th. And before we talk about what's going on around us, I want to name something really important that there is an incredible amount of information moving through the field right now, whether it's solar, which it isn't, but it is. It's the solar flares are down, the KP is up. Whether it's geomagnetic, which explains the KP, astrological, emotional, and it's loud. It's really, really loud. But loud doesn't mean it's chaotic. It means that we're in this place of sustained activation. It's not sudden emergency like, oh my gosh, this happened. Oh no, oh no. It's this sustained activation. And we want to talk about that today because the most important thing we can do right now is not chase the explanations or get into our head and say, well, it's because of the Grand Cross, Cardinal Cross, it's because of Jupiter expanding, it's because of this, it's because of that. What we want to do is stay current to the signals that we're experiencing as they increase. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I would imagine that you're feeling or have felt buzzy, exhausted, emotional, foggy, wired but tired, like trying to go to sleep but you can't, strangely sensitive over the last couple of days. And you're not imagining it. And you're not being flipped over so that you're ineffective. You're here because your system is paying attention. And so, we've been cultivating this. Pay attention, be the observer, understand your clairs, your sensitivities, your empathic skills, use discernment. So, what's happening now is that these are all double and tripling up. So, might even feel just a bit overloaded. But how do we do this without feeling overloaded? Because we're moving through a very, very rare convergence of a lot of powerful energies. So the sun has this coronal hole that's shaped like a river. It's not just one little burst. It's a sustained solar wind. It's not a spike, it's a stream. And when we understand that, we're on day 3 of this stream of just coming out at us. The Schumann resonance is holding bright. It's not popping randomly up and down. It's just holding. There's a cardinal grand cross between all of the cardinal signs that are activating pressure and release, right? Sun, Mars, Venus aligned in Capricorn, opposing Jupiter, which means that there's an incredible amount of amplification because Jupiter's the expander, right? And emotionally, many of us are feeling this up and down from a surge to heaviness and lack of energy. So why are so many people reporting this two-phase experience? First, because there's an activation, buzzing, ringing, nervous system, and alertness sort of going on in our body, right? We're like, this is what I'm getting. I'm feeling really energized. I'm feeling buzzed. What's the word I would say? I can distinctly feel something is coming into my field and I don't know what it is. And I'm searching, 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 right? Not really a lot. And then it's followed by gravity, fatigue, slowness, the need to land, the need to rest. The second phase isn't failure, it's integration. So when we go up and we're in it, we're used to going like, yay, here we go. And then this heaviness comes. It's more like, oh, there's a burst, there's a recognition of energy, and now I integrate because your body has to catch up with the information that's already moved through your field. That makes sense, right? So our sensitive systems are early, not broken. And I want to be really clear about this. If you're highly sensitive, if you're empathic, if you're intuitive or deeply embodied, you're not malfunctioning. We don't break, we register first, which means we're going to feel it and we're going to look around and go, how is it that nobody else is talking about what I'm experiencing right now, what I can feel? The ringing in the ears, the pressure in your head, the emotional waves. These are not random. These are signs that your system is tuned in. and you're like, wow, look at what I'm picking up on. And this is why I think it was Jody Jones on Instagram said that this is why the sensitives have always been called the canary in the coal mine. Not because we're weak, but because we're early, because we detect early and we can tell you what's going to happen. So this is where something really important has to leave the room. And I want to just name it and put it out there with you, which is shame. Shame says, why can't I just function like everybody else? Like, why can't I just have a normal life? Or I should be handling this better. Or something must be wrong with me because I don't feel very good right now. So shame disconnects you from your knowing. It blocks integration. And we don't need shame right now. We need discernment. So by identifying that there's this cycle of shame that we might be used to after years and years of feeling it, now we know that it's not the time to feel shame. It's time to feel and need discernment. So discernment is what matters now. So let's name that clearly. And I talked about discernment last week, so we can go back and revisit that as well if you want more on the discernment lens. But discernment is not judgment. It and it's not belief or disbelief. And it's not spiritual superiority. And it's not constant analysis. So discernment isn't saying, wow, I read every single astrologer and I know what's going on with the planets. I've looked at all of the Mr. MBB33, on the Schumann resonance. I've looked at that's not what we're looking at. We're not doing analysis right now. What we are doing is we're embodying perception. We're using our discernment to embody perception, to give ourselves some nervous system awareness, right? Some energetic literacy. I'm learning words. I'm understanding what's actually happening. We use discernment to help us with timing, restraint, and self-trust. Discernment is how we stay present when the information moves through us without collapsing or hardening. Makes sense, right? You don't need to decide what everything means. You need to sense what your system can hold right now. So it isn't about deciding in the head. We talked about David Clemens. It's about sensing what your system can hold right now. And that's leadership. And that's maturity. And that's how we stay grounded when things get louder. So I want to put something really fun in there, which is let's go back and revisit the disruptor energy because it's something really important I want to name today, and it may help you with just this big exhale. Some of you just some of you are not just sensitive to disruption, you are the disruptor signature. So when our sensitivity brings it in and we recognize it early, we are the disruptor signature. The disruptor isn't someone who creates chaos. The disruptor is someone whose presence interrupts the patterns that can no longer continue. So disruptors change direction. They stop unconscious momentum. They expose distortion simply by being coherent. Like, it's crazy over there. I'm just going to hold right here, right? When intensity rises, disruptors feel it first, not because they're fragile, because their systems are designed to register that something must shift. Makes sense. And if things are louder around you, if old systems are causing reaction in you, if your nervous system won't let you go on with this pretense anymore, that's not dysfunction at all. That's your disruptor intelligence doing a very, very good job. So the work now isn't to push harder, it's to stay grounded, to stay regulated and sovereign so that disruption becomes direction, choice, not burnout. So I'm going to stick with the permissions because I'm getting a lot of feedback from many of you that permissions is working. So before I go on to, and I've got 6 of them. How many numbers do I have? I have 6 of them for you. I want to show you a couple of cards because it really looks like this. And it really looks like we're a badass disruptor. Like, bring it on. I know exactly what to do. These are from the Rumi deck, right? It's about stabilizing. how we hold change, or how we enjoy the energy when it tips us upside down. It makes sense, right? I have so many more. I could show you cards all day. It's the way that it's the language that talks to me. And when I lay them out, I know what I want to talk to you about. But I want to go to permissions. And before I do that, I want to remind you that I have this Patreon site. The link is down below in the description. We post all of these articles and we have a discussion every Tuesday at 5 p.m. And I have some new members who haven't found the discussion group yet. So I don't know if it's time frame or if it's finding the link, but it's a paid membership. So if that's something that you want to join or something that you have, drop me a note on Patreon and I'll get you hooked up with that link. Okay. So let's look at the 6 permissions because I love these. I love these so much. Permission number 1. You are allowed to not understand everything. You don't need to explain what's happening in order to navigate correctly. Your nervous system understands a lot faster than your intellect does. So if things feel off or if they feel tilted or unfamiliar, this is just information, right? Oh, this is just information. And you let yourself say, I don't fully understand this yet, but I know I'm safe and I know that I'm aware. And clarity comes after coherence, not before. So you can't have clarity, right? And then develop coherence. It's like our body has coherence and we're like coherence and we go, oh, that's what's happening. So permission, right? Permission to not understand everything, but to feel it, right? Number 2, permission to slow your body down before you speed the mind. The mind doesn't understand and it wants to run. What is that? It goes into panic. It can even start that sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system activation, right? When the body doesn't understand, it goes into reaction and it wants to speak. But before interpreting anything, drop your awareness from your head into your chest and into your belly. You might place your hand on your sternum and simply say, I'm here, I'm listening. And this sensation leads us to the truth faster than thought right now, which is to feel it in our body. So give yourself permission, right? Give yourself permission to slow the body before your mind speeds up. Permission number 3. Emotional waves are weather, not identity. In other words, with all this current planetary and geomagnetic activity, emotional waves are moving through the collective and through ancestral layers. They're temporary. They're not who you are. Your job is not to fix the wave. It's to ride it without attachment to the story. That's why I held this one up. It's just to ride it. Or what I love is this version of the chariot, which is just enjoy the ride. Find out where it's going. Find out where it's taking you, right? So you respond, you don't react, and you witness, you don't merge. As the wave passes, you remain, right? So again, permission that to know that these emotional waves are just like weather. They come and go, right? All right, so permission number 4, simplify to stabilize. When the field is loud, complexity can overwhelm the nervous system. Complexity in schedules, in too many tasks to do in your head. So when we choose one stabilizing action, it helps calm our nervous system down. So one might be, I'm going to clear a surface. I'm going to clear my desk because right now it's got cards scattered all over it and building quotes and everything, right? The other thing to do is step outside, take a deep breath, and allow the weather, the nature to just calm you down. Drink water, light a candle, touch something that's physical and real. I like the tactile part. This glass does this for me because I can just sort of go, here's this cut glass, and I can just go, so here I am in my body right now, actually slowing things down. Because simplicity restores orientation faster than insight. Can't think your way into calm. You can feel your way into calm, and you do that through simplifying your environment. Permission number 5, you don't choose timelines, you stabilize them. And there was a lot of information out this week about the two different kinds of timelines, whether it was Zachary, what was his name? Whether it was Zachary, whether it was um, Sabrina at Rewilding for Women. They just kept putting timeline stuff out there. And what I want to say is no one's putting you on a timeline. Timelines are stabilized by your frequency, not fear or effort. So you can't steer yourself into a timeline. What you can do is stabilize and watch where that frequency takes you. Because when we fear a timeline, it becomes urgent, it becomes loud, it becomes fragmented, it becomes reactive. When we embody a frequency and a timeline, it feels quieter. It feels slower on the surface. It feels grounded, stable. It feels alive. What is required isn't effort, it's conditions. So, in order to feel that frequency, we rest. We determine our own natural rhythm. We reduce like that psychic noise or that outer external noise. And we do some very honest pacing, honest walk, honest breathing, honest evaluation, honest checking in. Because this is an ascension, it is embodiment. And so that permission, right? That permission that you don't choose timelines, you allow them to happen by your frequency is beautiful. So the last one, permission number 6, is that compassion isn't optional at all. It's a stabilizer. And I've talked about this week after week after week. Finally, compassion for your body's pace, for your nervous system, for your emotions, for your confusion, for your fatigue, for others that are overwhelmed and acting erratic. And nothing stabilizes our system faster than compassion. Nothing destabilizes it faster than self judgment. So we want to restore coherence by kindness to ourselves, by compassion. So if you're tired, it's not weakness. If you're slow, it's not failure. And if you need quiet, that's wisdom. Compassion allows integration to finish. So I want to bring this to a close by re-anchoring you back into you're not falling apart. You're learning how to stop racing. That this is what it feels like when our system releases survival and begins to trust presence. You don't need to predict what's coming, and you don't need to explain what just happened. You need to stay with yourself. So let's take a deep breath together now. Feel your feet. Feel your body. Feel where you are. And remind yourself, I'm allowed to move at the pace of integration because you're doing so much better than you think. And it's wild out there. So I hope this helps. And I have a journal prompt for you. So I'm also going to put it's also in the description, and I'm going to put it at one of the top comments. What am I noticing in my body, emotions, or rhythms that tells me something is shifting, even if I can't explain it yet? Where might the steadiness rather than certainty be my next anchor? So with that, I will leave you. I will see you Tuesday at Patreon or on next Sunday. You take care. Bye.